Hi, my name is Stacy Hart, and I'm here to talk about the murder of my brother Timmy Hart, which occurred in Chicago on 63rd and Albany on 12/24/06. We're going 7 years unsolved in hopes that somebody would finally come up to let us know who done this and took him out of his life. He saved 4 other people that day. He did not die alone. He walked home 3 girls from his job, and plus his girlfriend, who was then pregnant. The girlfriend gave birth to a son, which I am raising along with his other child, Timothy T.J. Hart, for the last 7 years. Everything started as we were supposed to celebrate my birthday that night. I was supposed to make it to the lounge where he was a security officer, and I got caught up doing other things, last minute things for Christmas, and he had called me approximately 17 times from 9 o'clock through 2:43 that morning, which was the last time I spoke to him. He was shot and killed at 5:17 a.m., just 2 blocks from the job, just 100 feet from his own door. Again, he did not die alone. 3 girls, 1 pregnant. They were there. 2 girls got away, no injury. 1 girl was shot, and that was his then pregnant girlfriend. She made it through the surgeries, and so did the child. Unfortunately, her recollection, based on all the surgeries, isn't very clear. 2 girls do have the answers, and they are said to have feared for their lives, so they're not giving us information. I'm asking that the community step forward. I know that a lot of people are sleeping at 5:17 in the morning on a typical morning, but this was Christmas Eve. People are awake and doing things for their children, their grandchildren, family. Somebody heard something, and we're asking that you come forward anonymously, or you can come forward and give your information. Either or, we're looking for this case to be solved. This Christmas will be 8 years, 8 long years without Timmy. And it's unfair that I am raising his children with only a memory of their father. That their father is not here for Christmas, not here for birthdays, not here for graduations. His youngest son, who he's never met, graduated from kindergarten. And all he can do is let his balloons go and say, "Daddy, I did it, I graduated." So unfair that a 7-year-old child has never seen his father and knows nothing but what we teach him. And every time that I go to an event for other parents of murdered children, he says, "Are you going to find who killed my daddy today?" Even today when I left the house, he says, "Are you going to find who killed my daddy, Mom?" And no, I'm not his mom. Actually, I am his mom. I'm just not his mother. Same as I was for Timmy. Timmy was my brother first, my son second, and best friend all my life. Timmy told everybody he knew I was his mother, and my brother Joey was his father. We didn't have a very good life of loving parents. A lot of people go through things, and we don't have to sling things back and forth, but the result was I raised him as my son, my brother, and my friend. December 20th is my birthday. And every year, me and my 2 brothers would go out for drinks and dinner and celebrate our birthdays. My other brother, Joey, his birthday was November. I'm December, and Timmy was February. So we always, were together for birthdays and things of that nature. Well, on December 10th, I went to Timmy's new job, where he was being security at a bar, lounge, neighborhood tavern, whatever you'd like to call it, and I told him I didn't believe he was safe there. And being that Timmy listened to everything I said, as his mother, as his sister, as his friend, he says, "Well, please, Stace, just let me work this job. I want to make extra money for the kids, and I've never really been able to provide them presents and stuff, and just let me work it, Stace." And he had already had a part-time job also in a janitorial service at the DCFS building. And I says, "Tim, I don't like it here. There's gangbangers here. There's, just a lot of people that, things can go really wrong." He says, "Please, Stace, just let me work it." I says, I will let you work if you give 2 weeks notice right now. You get your manager, you give 2 weeks notice. And I'll never forget the December 10th date, only because he got me a parking ticket that night, silly as he was. But he got his manager and put in 2 weeks notice because I didn't feel he was safe there, but I was going to allow him to go ahead and make his extra money to buy all the nephews and the nieces for his Christmas presents. Well, December 20th came. It was a Wednesday. It was my birthday. I says, Tim, I'm not going to make it tonight. Let's do it Saturday. Saturday's your last weekend at the job. I got bowling. I get off. I'll come straight there. We can just have fun, and you don't have to go back anymore. He's like, okay. He's like, all right. So Saturday I went bowling, and as usual, Timmy called me probably 6 to 10 times. He called me or averaged 20 to 30 times per day just to check on me, just to let him know, or for him to let me know where he's at or what's going on in his day, to talk to his son TJ, or to make plans just for the next day. Timmy was rather silly. He had the nickname of Goofy, and he liked to call him prank around, and he did it all the time. So anyway, he called me all through bowling. I says, Tim, I'm still bowling. I'll be there. I'll be there. He called after bowling. I says, Tim, we're having Christmas drinks. I'll be there. He called over and over. Last call at 2:43 in the morning when I finally told him, Tim, I'm not coming. And he had a few choice words for me. His last and final words to me were, I love you too, but you're still bogus. Those words I've lived with for life. The last 7.5 years of my life. Knowing that I says, Tim, I love you, I'll see you tomorrow at dinner. He says, I love you too, but you're still bogus. I didn't get to see him the next day, because 2 hours later I got the phone call. Stacy, they shot Timmy. Stacy, they shot Timmy. Get here, get here. I never knew at that point where he was shot, how he was shot, any of the information. But knowing my brother was strong and he was young, I'm like, I wasn't really worried. I was like, okay, I'll be right there. We'll get through this. We didn't get through it that day. All day I begged and I prayed and I prayed and I begged. Just live. Nurse's chart. 3 numbers on the wall for what we needed to do for him. They never wrote nothing. They just called him John Doe. He wasn't a John Doe. I was there. I was his mom. I was his sister. He was Timmy Hart, not John Doe. Not York Doe, which his name tag said. He mattered. He still matters, and I still need to know who did this. I need closure. It doesn't fix it. It doesn't change it. I feel like I need to know who stole the very happiness from my life, who robbed children of their father while they get to live life every day with possibly their children, their family, their everybody. I get none of that. Unless somebody speaks up, being Misty Stewart or Rebecca Maldonado, which are the 2 other girls that were there that night, or somebody from the community comes forward, there is no resolution. I have done all the police detective work that I can. I have given them multitude of names, multitudes of information. I've even turned over a DVD that I had got from a shoe store that they so-called went and talked to. Well, I don't think that a manager of a store would give me something but not the police, which means the police weren't doing their job. I've been through about 8 sets of detectives. I've followed this case daily, weekly, even up the 3rd night of my brother after being shot. I went and got these girls out of their places of work, out of their places of being wherever they were, and including other witnesses that the police said would not come forward. And when I brought these girls in and this other gentleman in, they told me they were going to charge me with witness intimidation harassment and I believe it was some type of case interference. Well, the one girl, I believe, has direct ties to the case. That Wednesday, again being my birthday, Timmy came home from work, and there was a guy beating on a girl in the hallway over a drug deal, I guess, or whatever. And Timmy, being that I raised him, didn't agree with men hitting women, so he interrupted. He stopped and threatened the guy that he would hit him and call the police and have him removed from the building. This guy turns out to be directly related to Rebecca Maldonado, one of the waitresses he walked home. Rebecca Maldonado had 2 boyfriends, both drug dealers, and that drug dealer's, I guess, little guy or whatever is the one that Timmy stopped from beating somebody up. So I believe that Timmy was set up by her boyfriend to be robbed or beat up, and things went real wrong because it was a robbery is how it started. They were walking home, and 2 guys jumped out and announced everybody to empty their pockets and grab purses, and Timmy pushed one girl, told her to run. He told the other girls, throw your purses, don't hand them to them, throw your purses, and he fought the other one. And as he was coming out of the alleyway is when he was shot. People, like these 2 girls, told the police he was shot direct heads on. It was a straight shot to the head. No, that's not the case. I followed up. I did the homework. I have the autopsy reports. My brother was shot 30 to 50 feet away. He was shot turning out of the alleyway. He was not still in the alley. He did not die in the center of the alley. He died like a dog at the end of the alleyway trying to get out. In the neighborhood my brother was killed, I think there's probably more guns in the hands of convicts, felons, or just people who shouldn't have them. There are in the legal police department of the 8th District. The 8th District is pretty much 63rd and Kedzie on the south side of Chicago, Marquette Park area. I believe 8th District goes probably from Midway Airport on the southwest as far as 63rd and Damon, which is then the next little city would be Inglewood. 8th District also goes borders 87th Street all the way over to 51st Street. All south side locations, and the neighborhoods over there have considerably changed. I grew up in the south side of Chicago in various areas from 51st in California all the way through 79th and say Pulaski, Bogan High School area. 25 years ago, you weren't afraid to go outside. Today, you got drug dealers on every corner, you have gangbangers on the opposite corners, you have random shootings. Guns are at a very easy supply. I myself could purchase a gun walking down any one of those streets. I no longer live in that area. I moved out of that area in '94. I currently live in Indiana. I have 4 children of my own, and I lived in the Marquette Park area, just 3 blocks from where my brother was killed up until '94 when the neighborhood started changing. I then moved my kids out to the south suburbs, Worth, Illinois, Justice, and my kids went to suburban schools, and we did not live in that area. I don't know if I would call it the same closure everybody else does. I think I'd call it more satisfaction. I want to know that who is responsible for this gets to rot in hell in prison. They don't get to spend the next birthday, the next Christmas, the next any holiday, or even just a fun day with their family anymore because they've taken that from me.